Good morning, everyone. My apologies. I am a few minutes late. I was trying to get everything ready and then just decided I would just come on instead, and we will worry about doing a few of the things once we're together here. So we're going to showcase some new product today. We're going to showcase this Forever Greenery Suite. It's amazing. And when I first looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, it's really nice. But wasn't sure, given the amount of amazing, beautiful, nice things in the catalog, if it was something I really needed to have. But it was one of the few things that we could order during the pre-order, and so I ordered the entire suite, and it is fabulous. So this is the card we are going to make today. This was me playing with a bunch of things in this suite, in addition to a new punch. So we've got punches, we've got dies, we've got new stamps, we've got new paper. I didn't use any new ribbon. Hello, Sandra, because I wanted to make, I just am trying to show how you don't have to necessarily buy everything new, and you can utilize some of the things that you already have. So you're going to see a bit of that in my projects right now, a bit of mixing new with not retiring, but things that are carrying over. So that's what I chose to do here. But we will just kind of walk through some of the things in the suite while we go ahead and make this project. So you're going to have seen this layout from me before. I've done it recently. It's a great way to use DSP. It's a great way to showcase the DSP. So that's another thing I wanted to do. And I had planned to make this card with lots of different new products to show you all of the DSPs, but I'm kind of playing around with that. So I started with this one, and we will go from there. So this suite, if we look at the DSP, it's gorgeous, and the colors it's using are Garden Green, Just Jade, Pear Pizzazz, Pretty Peacock, Shaded Spruce, Soft Seafoam, and Whisper White. So lots of our beautiful greens, so it's gorgeous that way. This one has some of the peacock, it has some of the shaded spruce, it has the seafoam. So those are the colors I chose to focus on here. And I feel like soft seafoam is one that probably a lot of people have not really paid too much attention to. Good morning, Kathy. Because it's this really pale green. And I ended up with it in my collection really early because I was given it when I was demonstrating in Red Deer a couple of years ago with the octopus. But I think you're going to find that if you don't already own this one and you end up purchasing this suite, or the DSP, you're going to want to invest in a pack of soft seafoam. It's a really nice green. So that's what we've used here. What else are we going to talk about? These are the In Color 6x6 DSP packs, and I used this for some of my die cuts just to add a bit of texture, as well as bringing in the Just Jade. So that's our Just Jade. There's our Call Me Clover. There's our soft seafoam. Okay, so those are the colors we're going to be working with today. We're going to be working with this stamp set. These stamps are amazing because I think these are the distinctive ones. And you can see they give us a really nice shading when we stamp them without having to do anything else. So you'll see that when we stamp them. This also comes with, and I didn't use it on this card, but I've seen it used on a few other people's projects, these new mini embossing folders. So these embossing folders will go into the new mini machine, and you can just see they are narrow. Okay, but they are still long. So I've had one of my friends do it like this across the top and bottom of her card. And even though it put a ridge in the middle, she covered it with something. So that's a great way to do it. I've seen this one with little strips of paper. Really cute idea. So you can certainly look for these in my future projects, but I did not use them on this one. They are gorgeous though. And I will worry about putting that back together later. And then we have our dies, which we will be using. This set also comes, or this suite comes with these gold hoops. So I haven't used them yet. I haven't played with them. They are going to be something you'll see in future projects. And then it comes with this ribbon. So the ribbon is very vanilla and gold twine, which is lovely. I'm a little bit thrown off by the vanilla ribbon because it is white that is in our card, or that it's in a lot of the DSP. So to use this ribbon with this suite, you're going to have to do it on the sides of the paper where there is no white, would be my thought, unless you like mixing cream and white. I know there are schools of thoughts on that. Some people are like, yes, go for it, and other people are like, no, I do not mix white and cream. The other thing, this isn't part of this suite, but just another example. So here's some jade ribbon in gingham, and it's from the Flower for Every Season. And that is a really cute bundle that has the jars, the mason jars, the punch. And so I hope to play with that today. Hello, Jennifer. Happy birthday. Okay, let's keep going. I'm just trying to gather my thoughts here. And let's do some stamping first, and then we'll do some die cutting, and then we will do some putting it all together. Now, I'm going to use you're going to see me using my magnetic plate for that, and that's because we're going to stamp first. This, of course, is our card base. So I've cut the card base long ways, so it's 4 1/4 by 11, and that allows us to then tie ribbon around the card. So anytime you want to do a card in this, I guess you would call it portrait style, you can cut your cardstock the other way for sure, but if you cut your cardstock the other way, you can then never tie ribbon around. So you kind of have to think ahead, and if you think you're going to want to tie ribbon, your card needs to go this way, okay? So I used the white ribbon here, and we may do that again today. We might switch it up, and then you'll see, I hope you can see, it's got little polka dots all over it. So what I then did is I took this stamp, this textured stamp, and I stamped with my shaded spruce, and I stamped it off first and then on my ribbon to create my own ribbon with some color and some texture. So you can see I currently only have one of those uninked spots that I bought then a re-inker and turned it into shaded spruce. I was saying to some of my other demo friends that given that shaded spruce is going to be all over this suite, and I see myself using this in a lot of classes, I'm probably going to have to get a full-size stamp pad because there's some big stamps in there. Okay, let's get started. So let's get out some blocks. Some of my blocks are upstairs because it was movie night and I like to craft during movie night. And we will go from there. So we're going to start with this guy. And like Stampin' Up! Likes to do in some of their dies is they give us 2 of some of the shapes. So this is fabulous. So then you can cut 2 at the same time. So you're going to see I am going to do that. They're just going to be in different directions. Okay, let's get our card out of the way. Bring this in here, bring this. So they have 2 of the exact same stamp in opposite directions. So we're going to do that. We're going to use both. And you're going to see when we ink this up how amazing it is. So you can see how it takes up the ink, how pretty that is. So we're going to do 1 in that direction. And then we are going to do another right beside it in the opposite direction. So let's just do all our stamping and then we will move on to the die cutting. So the other thing that I did, we're just going to need to get some bigger scraps, I think, of the sea foam. This one we need, that's our backing, is I stamped in clover on the sea foam so that we could really see it. You can see I have a ton of scraps in here from other projects. So we're just going to find a couple of scraps that are going to be big enough and move that off to the side. Okay, now we want this stamp, really pretty. This reminds me, for anyone who gets paper pumpkin, this reminds me of the fall paper pumpkin that we had a while back. So we're going to ink this one up in the clover. I just love, 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 love this stamp. It's so pretty. And we're going to put it on here. You can see how gorgeous that is. And now we might be able to, no, my scrap isn't big enough to put another one on. So this is why you never want to get rid of your scraps. Don't ever recycle them. I just put them back in the same container, sleeve, whatever you want to call it, that the paper came in. Lots of people store them in Ziplocs. There's all sorts of different ways to store those. Okay, we're going to do that. We are going to stamp the sentiment, but we'll do that in a minute. Okay, so we're going to close that. And we are going to just slip out some scrap paper underneath. And I always like to stamp off my stamps before I use my chamois, even just to get some ink off of them, especially too if I know I'm not going to clean them right away, like is the case right now. I'm not going to clean those right away. I'm just going to put those to the side. Okay, so we are going to run these through the Big Shot. We'll do that because we don't need that in our way. Recycle. And then we are going to use this as well. This white guy we will need. Okay, so let's bring the Big Shot over. We're going to use the magnetic plate, so you're going to see how that's going to work. So bring that over. We need our other cutting plates. So magnetic platform goes down first, then one of your plates, then your pieces. So we can only cut one of these at a time because we only have one of those. And then we're going to pull it way out, line it up. And then some of you will know if you've been to my classes or if you've watched videos before, sometimes the plate will jump because of the polarity. So you just kind of have to find the right spot, move it around. The other thing you can do is use washi tape to hold your die down so that it won't jump. You can also do, so you can see I've put those two close together. So we're still gonna have to run it through twice. Okay, and then we're gonna put this one on here at the same time. And we're gonna want 3 of these. So this is this cute little die. And we're just gonna put it on. You can see it wants to move. That's fine, we don't really care in this case. The only reason I was trying to do it close to the top was to save paper. So we'll turn it. Move it up, turn it, there we go. Okay, so put our top plate on, be very careful still because we do not want those other ones to move. And then start to run it through. Okay, bring it back out the other side. So you'll see now we have that one, beautiful and perfect, lovely. We have one of these little guys, cute, and we have that. So now we will go through again. So we'll put this one on again with the other direction. And then again, you can see, so you can see right now how it's trying to jump away. Okay, and we want one of those. And then we need this one again. And we need the die for it. What did I do with it? Oh, goodness. Oh, there it is. Hello, Amy. Okay. So we'll put that on. Now we will run those ones through. This is why I like to sometimes do all this stuff in advance, because I feel like this part is boring for you guys to watch the die cutting, but I did not, so yay you get to watch. All right, there are those, and we're just going to do one more of this. We don't need it to be on the magnetic anymore, but I'm not going to change the plate out just for this. So we will put it right there, we'll run it through. So this is the nice thing about these little 6x6 DSP sheets is they fit perfectly in the Big Shot, or my guess is they will fit perfectly in the new machine that is coming. Whereas the DSP, you have to cut it down because of course it's much bigger. Okay. Move all that stuff out of our way. Bring all this stuff back. Bring our card back here so we can just sort of see what we're doing. Okay, so we're done with this piece now. We're going to move that off to the side. We're going to get rid of all our scraps. I'm going to move those off to the side. We are going to need this. We're going to need this. We're going to need that. Lots of thises and that's. And then, okay, so here's our DSP. And you can see I actually used just the one side of DSP 3 times. So this is 1 1/4 width. And then I cut it 5 1/8. So I'm gonna just, I just need to cut these, so that's what you're gonna see. The other thing you're gonna wanna know about this DSP is you can use the dies to actually cut out some of the shapes. So we will look at that in just one sec here, after I just quickly cut these papers down. So 5 and an 8 is 1, and then we're gonna cut another one, 1 1/4, and then we'll cut it into 5 and an 8. Of course, these pieces of paper are 6 by 12, so you have little scraps left over, but that's just how it goes. So I'm just gonna quickly show you. No, I haven't done it myself. And then of course you just have to plan things. When you have dies that will cut out DSP, is that, you know, you want to be mindful of how your DSP is and how much you're going to end up using if you use the die to cut it out, and what will be left. I don't know if this is how these went. Normally I trace around them to start, so I can always put them back. But so let's see. I don't know if this one cuts out one of these. No, it's not that one. I saw a picture. I know this one does. But it's kind of like any of those other dies with the Santa and other things where you can use them and they layer over the DSP. That one I think for sure. So, moving on. Okay, so now we can do some assembly and go from there. The other thing we're going to use is this new punch. So this punch comes with, it bundles with this lovely U stamp set and this punch. So lovely, lovely, lovely. And you'll see how it works. All right, so this part, fairly straightforward. Just gonna get my adhesive. You can use whatever your adhesive of choice is. For those of you who craft with me regularly, I've talked to you, I sort of have mentioned to some of you that this snail is retiring. So Stampin' Up! Is just bringing in a replacement product. It's called like, I don't know, something and seal and roll, or I don't know. It's a similar type thing. But of course, it's probably going to be slightly different. So if you like snail and you have a lot, now is the time to get a bunch of refills, and then you can keep using it. I did stock up on a few refills just so I'll have them, and then I will most likely switch over to the new adhesive. It will be the same kind of idea, just new and improved. And there will be a stronger version as well. So when I do cards like this, I always start by adhering the edges, each edge first, so that I get a nice space in the middle. So I sort of pick what I think is going to be an appropriate border, line it up evenly top to bottom. There we go. And then I will do the same on the other side. And then I place the piece in the middle. If you work your way left to right, you could end up where you don't have it evenly spaced, and then you're just going to have a card that does not look even, which, you know, creative license, artistic, however you want it to be, but I want it to be fairly even, so this is the option. And the method that I have chosen to go with, of course, your adhesive you can put on any way you like. Make sure you got all your DSP running in the same direction, because nothing is worse than that when you realize you have stuck one of them down upside down. Okay. So there is this, and we're going to adhere this to our cardstock. So this is the Just Jade, new color, Just Jade. Beautiful. Really very excited about it, actually. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the blue. The new yellow, the bumblebee, is very nice as well. I'm not super jazzed about the other, no, I'm going to rephrase that. Until I start working with the other two, the magenta and the cinnamon, I won't really know, but I haven't played around with them yet. So I'm pretty sure they're also going to be fabulous. Okay, we're going to leave the ribbon till the end. So we've got this, and we've got all of these. And then you're going to kind of see how I normally play around with these. It's a bit of a process. Okay, this guy I already have cut. I love the cinnamon. Okay, good. Yeah, I think I mean, they're nice. Don't get me wrong. I just haven't. So this is 1 inch. And so you can see I've already labeled on my punch here. It does 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1. And now depending which you choose will depend what it's going to look like. So you can see if you only do the 1/2 inch, you're just getting this narrow part of the image, and then 3/4 and then 1. Okay. So this, I believe, is already exactly the length I wanted it to be, and I did it in this one. So 1 inch, just like any of our punches like this, we're gonna feed it all the way in. There we go. Perfect, make sure it's come all the way through. And then we're just gonna turn it around and do the same. And I'm gonna just, sorry, I just wasn't guiding that very well. Make sure it's straight. Okay, so this next one I did must have been 3/4. Yes, 3/4. So I'm going to just cut this by 3/4, and then you're gonna see it's a little more finicky in terms of, and I'm gonna get these little pieces out to show you. So I've played around with this punch a lot already. Because this narrow one, so you just have to be careful because it can kind of move around back here. So if you decide to get this punch, because it's awesome, and bundle it with that stamp set, you just have to really sort of hold your paper when you're putting it in, okay? So we're gonna put this one in. Again, you can see it feeds really nicely on the lines, and then just tip it down so it's going all the way in, so you can see that it is. And then I am going to stamp, because this is going to be too long. If I leave it like this, it's going to be as long as this one. So we're going to have to cut that off. And I'm just going to, it doesn't, you can see, oh, did I just throw that away? So when you punch it, sometimes it's good to know how much it's actually going to punch off the other end, because then that will help you know how much you want your paper to be. So it's taking off like, what's it taking off? An 1/8 of an inch? An 1/8 of an inch. 1/8, yeah, an 1/8 of an inch. So if I want this piece to be 1, 2, 3 and 1/4 almost. 3 1/4. And it's going to take off an 1/8, so I'm going to cut it to like there. So I'm just going to put a little notch in there. I'm going to cut this off. It's not rocket science, obviously. You can do it however you want it to be. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to always be the exact same length. So we'll see. Did I kind of get it about right? Yeah, pretty good. Not bad. It's a little longer. No big deal. And then I used this. You can do this beautiful sentiment here. Hi, Jacqueline. So I've seen a lot of this one already. So beautiful wedding season coming, right? And then we've got just our generic hello, and then to a friend that makes me smile. So they're lovely. The font is lovely. Okay. I did this again in the spruce. So the other thing you want to check when you are doing words, I try to always kind of make sure it looks relatively straight. So I usually use my grid paper behind it. And then you kind of want to look around your stamp and see, is it even distance from the edge of your words to the edge of the stamp? And you can see there's more room on the bottom than there is along the top. So that's just good to know when you're kind of lining your stamp up. It's a good little tip. So we're going to ink this up. Good news is we can turn this over if A, it's not centered, B, it's not straight, C, we just didn't do a good job. So I know I have more leeway on the bottom, so I'm going to bring it a little bit further down. There, that looks pretty good. So I am loving this color, this shaded spruce. Loving, loving, loving. So it's one of those colors that I probably only really bought for Christmas. I think I bought it for the Christmas trees, that punch, that Deck the Halls or whatever it was called. But loving it. So I just adhered this flat, and then we're gonna pop it up. So we're gonna get the snail. We're gonna put this on here like this. Now, we kind of got to get it centered. So this is where you kind of got to sort of place it and then look and then sort of straighten it out. See if that looks about even. I think that looks about good. Okay. So there are many, many, many ways you could do this. I usually play around with all this and then adhere it and then move it this way. You could put it on here with the dimensionals and then just put adhesive on each side to decide how you want those to be placed. So I'm gonna kind of show you what we're gonna do. So I'm going to, if I think about this, I want adhesive in this top corner here and this bottom corner. So I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna pull out my silicone sheet. That if you don't have one of these yet, you want to have one. That means I can put this down. It's not going to stick to any of my papers. And then I'm going to play with how I want these placed behind it. The other thing we want to be mindful of is you want to make sure they're not too far off to the side, because now they will no longer be on your card front. And you want to make sure that they're not too far down or up if you've got a certain sort of border or dimensions you want to keep around the edges of your card. So if we kind of go off what I did last time, I had this, and then I had this one over top of it. Often what I will do too is I'll play around with something, and then I will take a picture. So I'll lay it all out. I won't actually put any adhesive, and I'll take a picture, and that way when I kind of take it all apart, I know exactly where everything was and that I liked where it was sitting. So if I kind of do this, so we should probably have done that first. So this kind of was in here like this. So this is, you know, and depending on how picky you are, how much you care about how something sits or lays, will be how much you care about something like this. So this is kind of like this, and then this one comes across so it's sitting sort of even and right at the edge. And then because I've put all that snail already on the back, I can just do this, and then I can flip this over, kind of peel it off, and then I can put some more adhesive so that these pieces will stick, because right now only the bottom one is stuck. So that is my trick with things like that, in case you were wondering. So that is the bottom. And now with the top, it looks like I did, so what's on the very bottom? This guy's on the very bottom. And then this one is coming kind of like this. So see, it all depends how picky you are and how much you like to just, you know, freehand, caution to the wind, what have you. And then I had this guy just kind of coming across. So that one went sort of something like that. And then you're going to see we're going to have to cut it. And yeah, so we'll do that again. We're going to flip it over. And this one we might actually be okay. And now I had this whole thing popped up with dimensionals. So while I've got this turned over, we're gonna stick our dimensionals on here. So I'm gonna stick them at either end, and then I'm gonna stick one in the middle, and I'm gonna try to get it on a bunch of those different bits of paper. And then what I will often do with something like this, especially when it's got all these little bits, I don't really need more dimensionals on there, certainly not big ones, but I will sometimes then pull out the mini dimensionals and just place a couple extras of those. Especially here, we want these guys popped up. I realized I didn't like them just kind of floating, so we're gonna use our minis down there. And then I think that should be good. I might put one there. one there, just for fun. Why not? Why not? Yeah, okay, here, let's carry on. We're almost, or we are sort of at the 30-minute mark, so we're just getting ready to wrap this up. I had a couple of other cards that I have made recently that I was going to quickly show you, but maybe I will come on and do that tomorrow instead. We won't be crafting them. I just wanted to show what they looked like, what I'd been playing with. I was doing lots of playing yesterday. I'm hoping to do some more playing today with the rains, although I think it's trying to dry up, so hopefully if it gets dry enough, we will take the kiddo and head out for a bike ride. Okay. So we are just going to find a spot for this on the front. Again, we want to center it left to right. And then I didn't want it centered per se, like top to bottom. We just need to make sure it's straight. So it pretty much takes up the width, the way I've done it, of the DSP. I need to have it go just a tiny bit more to this side. I feel like it's just... And I'm gonna move it up a bit. This is weird. I did my own, I attended a card class on Friday, which was a lot of fun, where someone else was teaching me, so that was fun. Okay, there we have it. So, like I said, I used the white ribbon, I stamped on it in my original card. I just wanted to show you some of the other ribbons that would look beautiful with this. So this is that gorgeous ribbon that is old olive on one side and pretty peacock on another. So that will look really pretty. I'm actually all out of this ribbon right now. This ribbon is retiring and I wasn't sure if it would look, no, it's too busy. Too busy. Or maybe it did retire. Maybe that's two catalogs ago. And then here's the mint. Because I think, is there mint in this? Or maybe there's not. No mint. But this, I think you could totally use. And it is retiring, but I have a bunch of it. So I think I might actually, this time, on this card, this version, use this mint. And like I said, lots of options here because there's so many greens in this card, in this paper. And there's, of course, the ribbon that comes with it. And then there's, of course, just the jade ribbon that is in the catalog, the in-color ribbon. And the only reason I didn't order the jade ribbon is because I had ordered these other ribbon packages that had ribbon in them. And so I was trying to just showcase a bunch of different products. But the in-color ribbons are this like woven ribbon there. And I ordered it in the cinnamon, in the magenta. And then we have the bumblebee. And then, yeah. So there we have it. Okay, so there is that. I like it without the ribbon. Yes, okay, sure. We could leave the ribbon off. But that would be it with the ribbon. I can still take that off, so I'm just going to leave it on there for now. So, same card. 2 different ribbons, or we could take the ribbon off completely. So let's just roll that around to the back, just for argument's sake. Of course, when you try to do something quickly. So there we have it, without the ribbon. Yay, okay, that's it. Happy Sunday. Though I just wanted to showcase some of that new product. So a couple weeks still till that's coming out, but if you know you're excited about it, for sure be checking out my Facebook page, any other demos that you like to follow their pages, Facebook, Instagram, because you're going to start to see lots of examples from this catalog, so you can start to see what you know you're going to want to have. I'll just show you this quick little taste of what I did last night. So this is the Misty Moonlight, and I tied it in with some of the new DSP that is in navy. So you can see how nicely this goes with navy. So here's the Misty Moonlight, the DSP that comes in the in-color pack. These two are from a different DSP package, Around the World. No, what's it called? They are from the In Good Taste Designer Series paper package. So that's actually navy. I've got the new little enamel dots on there. And then this is navy. I stitched it, or I stamped it in navy. And then I brought in the current and continuing denim ribbon. So just an example of how we can mix current with new. This is the Starburst punch, and let me tell you people, I'm really sad this is retiring. If you like this punch, or if you aren't using it yet, it's a great one. I will definitely be keeping mine, and I just wanted to remind you that it's out there, but it will only be available until June the 2nd. Okay, that's it. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and yeah, I'll try to get on tomorrow, but I make no promises because it's just too hard to do right now. Bye.